Come to our midweek exhale. For anybody who's new to our midweek exhale, we have the same structure. So every week we do 4 different breath styles. Excuse me. So we begin with breath awareness, and then we do 2 other styles, and we finish with coherence. However, this evening, we've decided to turn it around, which maybe is the problem. So we are starting this session with coherence. And then we are doing alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. Then we are doing low, slow, deep breathing. And we're going to finish with breath awareness. Maybe we should have left it the way it was. But anyway, our invitation is to be comfortable. And for us, that is the priority. Be comfortable and do whatever you need and check in with your body during the session to make sure that you are comfortable. We will invite you to each breath style, and I suppose I would suggest you try each breath style. If, however, something doesn't sit well with you this evening, or it doesn't suit you for whatever reason, then don't feel you have to do the 6 minutes of that breath. I would try it just to see where, even if it's something you've tried before and haven't liked, I would try it. But please feel free to let it go if it's not for you this evening, and to just bring your awareness back to your breath if you do decide to let it go. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. We will have our usual silence and birdsong in between our breath styles, because as we know, silence and birdsong are medicine and add equally to the experience. So that being said, I'm going to ask you to get comfortable. You can sit up or you can lie down. If you're sitting up, make sure you're supported, and if you're lying down, make sure your pillow's not too high so that your the breath can flow easily in and out. So I am going to get the music started. And just become aware of your whole body. I'm just going to take a few minutes just to maybe become aware of what we're carrying into the session with us today. So maybe start with your mind and just notice. Maybe there's lots of thoughts racing around, and maybe there's very few thoughts. And as you notice, try not to get caught up in analysing or judging. Whatever you've brought here today is absolutely perfect. And now bring your attention to your body. And notice what sensations are there. And again, noticing without judging, without categorizing as good or bad, just noticing. And bring your attention now to your emotions. And sometimes emotions can be hard to find, but that's okay. Maybe the emotion is okayness. Maybe just everything's okay. Or maybe everything's okay, but there's bubbling under the surface. And if that's the way it is, don't try analysing or naming or searching for what. Just notice that it's there. And as the music begins, just let all those things melt slightly, maybe move to the edges. And if you find during the session that you're looking towards the edges of those things, that's okay. Just gently bring your focus back if you notice. And bring your attention to your breath and just notice it for a second. And we're going to begin to balance our breaths. So gently taking a little bit of control of your breath. And maybe to begin with, you might want to count in your head. And find the count that suits you. Maybe it's 3 or 4 or 5 or even 6. Knowing that no count is better than the other count. And breathing in and out gently. And if your breath is coming in and out through your mouth, maybe moving it to your nose gently. See what that feels like. And if your mind begins to get caught up in some of the things you brought with you today, that's okay. But gently bring your focus back to your breath. And as your breath becomes more balanced, maybe you feel that balance in your body. Maybe you feel the beginnings of calmness beginning to settle. We have just a minute left, so just checking in with your breath again. And noticing, does it feel balanced? And just letting go of any count if you're still counting, and just getting ready to rest in the silence.
And as the birdsong breaks the first silence, just noticing how that silence felt. Reflecting on the last time you allowed silence in. And perhaps noticing any differences or any similarities. And just observing. No judgment, just observation, loving observation. And for our next breath, we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. And we're going to use our thumb and our ring finger to block our nostrils. And you might like to leave your fingers up and place them on your third eye. You might like to bend your fingers down. And placing your thumb on your nostril and breathing in. And we always change at the top, so changing at the top, breathing out through the other nostril. Breathing in through that same nostril, changing at the top, breathing out, breathing in, changing at the top, breathing out, breathing in, changing at the top, breathing out, breathing in, changing at the top, breathing out. And as you get the rhythm moving with your fingers, just gently rocking nostril to nostril, just find a rhythm that suits you. So I'm going to stop guiding now. And find the rhythm of inhale, change, exhale, inhale, change, exhale. And notice if there's a nostril that feels clearer than the other one, and know that that's natural, that's normal. It is so with all of us. And keep persevering. Inhale, change, exhale, inhale, change. And this breath balances the energetic body. It works with our meridians. We have 1 more minute to go before the next restful silence. So if you have let the breath go, perhaps try again for the last minute. perhaps resting in the balance of masculine and feminine energies within us.
And as the birdsong begins, once again, just reflecting on that silence. How was it different from the first silence? And how was it exactly the same? And for our next breath style this evening, we're going to do low, slow, deep breathing. And it's low because you're not going to fill your lungs on every inhale. You're just going to inhale enough. It's slow because you're going to slow your breath right down. And it's deep because even though we're not filling our lungs, we're going to take the breath to the very bottom, down to where your diaphragm is. And when we do this kind of breathing, sometimes we begin to feel like we're not getting enough air. And that's because we're increasing the amount of carbon dioxide in our body, which is a good thing. It helps us use our oxygen efficiently. But if it begins to feel really uncomfortable, go back to your natural breath rhythm. And then when you feel maybe that it's time, slow your breath down and start breathing in less and taking it in deep into your diaphragm. And this breath is really good. It's really good for sleep maybe, but it's also really good for anxiety. So focusing on keeping your breath low, so not filling up the lungs, on slowing down your inhale and slowing down your exhale, but still bringing that breath deep into your diaphragm, to the very bottom of your belly. Breathing so gently you can hardly feel it. Keeping your focus on every little bit of the breath and just breathing enough. And if you want, you can put your finger below your nose. Breathing so you don't even feel it on your finger. And knowing that at any stage, if it feels too much, just go back to your natural breath rhythm for a while. Then come back to the low, slow, deep breathing. And just checking in with your body that you're not tensing up as you try to keep the breath low and slow. Letting it flow softly, but without forcing. If it feels forced, go back to your natural breath rhythm. And then gently start again. Breathing so gently that the hairs in your nose aren't even moving. Keeping your focus on every step of the breath as you inhale slowly and exhale slowly. And we're in the last minute now, so if you have let go of the breath, just slow your breath down again. Breathe in really softly and breathe out really gently. and allowing your breath to come back to its natural rhythm as we go into the silence again.
And just noticing how you felt in that silence. We've worked you quite hard this evening. I definitely felt like I needed a yawn, just to bring some more breath back into my body, noticing how that felt for you. And noticing your breath now in its natural form. Notice how deeply you're breathing, just as part of your natural rhythm. And take your attention to your nostrils and notice if one appears more dominant than the other. Recognizing that this is natural and the right order. But noticing if you're more aware of it after consciously practicing alternate nostril breath. And being soft and gentle with your breath. No pushing, no performing, just the gentle rhythm of your breath. And notice any emotions that you can access right now. Noticing that if you can't access any, that is completely natural too. Simply being okay is our default setting. But if you are feeling some emotions, noticing whether you are leaving them in flow, or maybe you're attaching a thought to them. Looking for a reason, maybe. And just thanking your mind for all the wonderful things that it does every minute of every day. Specially designed, cleverly designed to keep you safe, to ensure your survival. And maybe sometimes that might go into overdrive, and perhaps you might want to say, okay, step back a little, I'm good. And in our last minute or so, we're going to bring our attention to any sensations we're feeling in our body. Maybe our lungs feel a little stretched, a little more elastic. Maybe our little toe is throbbing. Or our shoulder is tingling. Just notice the body. maybe even the connection between your body and whatever is supporting it. And perhaps move a little as we go into our last period of silence.
And as the birdsong begins for a final time, just reflecting on the last silence and the whole session. And maybe noticing, has anything changed since when we began? And beginning now to bring your attention back into your body. And noticing where your body's in contact with the surface underneath. And maybe introducing some gentle movement. Just your fingers or your toes to begin with. Maybe you feel like stretching or yawning. Moving your shoulders or tapping gently on your chest, the back of your neck, onto your head. And slowly beginning to think about coming back to the room. Maybe turning on your side before you get up. Being slow and gentle with yourself. Making your way back to the Zoom room.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we open up a little circle for shares. And if you're watching this on recording, then perhaps before you begin to journal for yourself or reflect on the time that you've spent together, we just want to invite you to some other extra things with us. And if you're on the recording, the info will be underneath the video. If you are here in the room, then we've popped some links in the chat box. Our next deeper exhale is open now for registration, and we'll be journeying with the bramble, which is my garden is full of them. I'm looking forward to, not ones I want, I might add, but I'm looking forward to. And you'll also find details of our retreat in Mallinhead, Donegal, starting on the 31st of October. We would love to spend an extended time with you. That's 3 days and residential. Of course, we've dropped in there our directory link if you would like to give us a public review. We love hearing from you. Thank you. But we have two new exciting things. It's been our journey. We keep adding things to our box of tricks. So we are holding an extended breathwork on the 26th of September, our first 2-hour evening breathwork called Anchoring the Exhale. And in that, we will try different breathworks for longer, and we will journey with nature's elements. So there's a link there for a ticket if you'd like to come to the first ever on the 26th of September. And as loyal followers of us in one way, shape, or form, we would love to give you early access to our Exhale community. So we are pulling everything that we've done together in a 4-tier community option. And the first tier, certainly initially, is free. And in there, you will find the recordings of our midweek exhale. You will find, Marie's very kindly called it wisdom sharing with Sharon. That was all Marie. But I'm going to say, because I get to speak in this bit, that as our kind of launch offer over the next couple of weeks with our first tier in the community, Marie is going to do some special morning stuff with us. I've called it ceremony in there. I think she's probably going to say that's a bit grand. But she's certainly going to be available to you every morning for probably about 20 days or so, maybe a little bit longer, 3 weeks, maybe a little bit longer. So you'll find out more details about that and be able to join us if you pop in community.theexhaleawakening.com. Then you'll go to a landing page, just whizzle your way straight down to the bottom and press join on the free bit. And we'd love to see you in there. And bear with us, we're new, but when we get good at this, you can RSVP to this midweek exhale. So unlike today, you will never miss the reminders where we both dropped the ball today. Normally when one of us drops it, the other one picks it up, but it was always going to happen that at some point we'd both drop it. So thank you very much for listening to my little bit there. I am going to stop the recording and unpin Marie and I to chat to you.